Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live stream and welcome to all your latest Chelsea transfer news. And it's funny, isn't it? As soon as the transfer window reopens, we suddenly start getting news. It's almost like they've been saving it, waiting for the window to open. And now we have got some news to go through, chat. Big up to every single one of you that's already locked in. Make sure you're smashing the likes. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. All of that good stuff, guys. We have got a packed show. The latest on Malick Fofana. Got the latest on Djordje Petrovic as well. Apparently, there's a gentleman's agreement with Chelsea that he can leave for £25 million this summer. Jamie Gittins is the priority left wing target. And guess what, guys? You'll never believe this. Chelsea have called their interest in Nico Williams. It's off, guys. It's off. I tell you what, I've called my interest in Margot Robbie, chat. I can't afford my transfer budget. Don't go that far, chat. We've had to significantly cool the interest in my pursuit of Margot Robbie. It's been called right off, chat. Utter nonsense. Cooled our interest in Nico Williams. I mean, how hot was it? Have we had to get the fucking fire brigade out to hose down how hot our interest in Nico Williams was? No surprises there. We've also got the latest on Benjamin Sesko. He's been removed from Chelsea's wish list. Removed. Chelsea are looking for a versatile attacker. Ekitike, Kudos, and João Pedro are names that the Blues are interested in. So yeah, loads and loads to dive into, chat. Loads to dive into. But before we do that, as always, a quick reminder, make sure you check out Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off. I already think there's actually a 20% summer sale. So use the code and you can get 40% off, 40% off if you use the code BLUEBROTHER as well. Link in the description. Make sure you're looking fresh in the new Chelsea home kit for the upcoming season. Link in the description. Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Use code BLUEBROTHER. But that is enough of that, chat. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's say hello to a few of you people and then we'll get going. Big up, brother. Yep, tell me about it. We are desperate. Desperate. I would take Malick Fofana. I would as well. Yes, big up, bro. Yeah, mental. Yes, big up, big up. Oh, yeah, the fixtures are out tomorrow as well. Big up. No, but he's going to accept 12 million euros a year at Barcelona. The reality is he never wanted to join us. He never wanted to join us. It was always Barcelona. It was always Barcelona. And we'll see that because he'll accept less money at Barcelona. Nottingham Forest. I mean, who do Forest think they are? They have one season where they massively overachieve and now they think they're shopping at the big boys table. Behave. Know your place. Know your place. Nah, probably not. Yeah, bro, gentlemen's agreements are such nonsense. They're such nonsense, chat. You know, I don't know why players make gentlemen's agreements with clubs because it never works, does it? It never happens. Yeah, no, I made peace with the fact that Nico Williams weren't joining this football club a long, long time ago. It was always going to be. It was always going to be Barcelona for Nico Williams. Always. I mean, maybe we play Barcelona in the Champions League next season. Let's wait and see. Yeah, I mean, Dusan Vlahovic to Nottingham Forest. I mean, what sort of alternative reality are we living in? Absolutely no chance. But yeah, chat, let's start with it then. Let's start with... What should we start with, chat? Let's start with the Petrovic stuff, actually. Let's start with the Petrovic stuff because, as we know, he's been left out of the squad. We know that. Left out for the Club World Cup. Apparently, he asked to be left out. He wants to be number one. Chelsea can't guarantee that. So this is in The Athletic this morning. There's a gentleman's agreement between Chelsea and Petrovic that he can leave if someone bids 25 mil. Now, what I'd like to know is what happens if someone doesn't bid 25 mil? Does that mean that he's staying? And then what do we do with him? Petrovic has been given the green light to find himself a new club over the next month that will be prepared to pay that. Now, I'm not saying that no club is going to be prepared to pay that. Someone may well pay that. But what do we do if no one pays 25 mil for Petrovic? Do we just bring him back in? Like, what happens here? Do we loan him out again? It all seems like a bit of a fucking mess, to be perfectly honest. And there's further updates in the Athletic as well. They are certainly open to... Will Chelsea sell Petrovic? They are certainly open to the idea. Petrovic wants to be assured of a starting role. And with Chelsea unable to promise him that, the 25-year-old's exploring his options. He asked to be left out of the Club World Cup squad last week. I don't know if that's true or not. We have to take it for what it is. He's got 4 to 5 clubs from the Premier League and elsewhere in Europe expressing an interest. Gentleman's agreement, he can go for 30 million euros. If nothing comes of it, Petrovic will report back for pre-season training. Return to French side Strasbourg, where he impressed on loan, could then be a possibility as they've maintained their interest in him. However, the Strasbourg president has come out and said, I don't think that he'll come back, simply because he's a player of incredible quality, and I think he can probably target a Champions League or Europa League side, either by staying at Chelsea or elsewhere should he leave. So it looks like that he won't be going to Strasbourg either. Now, my thing is, and I still just don't understand why we aren't just giving this guy a chance. If we do not sign another goalkeeper, there's literally no reason whatsoever why we shouldn't be giving this guy the gloves and telling him you're number one next season. Absolutely zero reason whatsoever for that not to be the case, chat. Zero reason. None of it's making sense. You know, you pay, basically, you want the same money for Petrovic that you paid for Robert Sanchez. I mean, what the fuck is going on here? But it's baffling. Let's make it clear, right? We paid 20 plus 5 for Sanchez. We wouldn't pay that for Maignan, and now we want the same money that we paid for Sanchez for Petrovic, who's miles better than him and younger. None of it makes sense. Unless you're signing Mike Maignan, you should be keeping Petrovic. You know, his confidence is high. He's coming off a very good season. Unless you are signing a new goalkeeper, Petrovic should be here. Absolutely should be here. However, if Petrovic doesn't want to be at the club, which, according to multiple reliable sources, seems to be the case, it is obviously easier to sell him now when he's got good value. But then you have to ask the questions, why doesn't he want to be here? Why did we go after Maignan? You know, I refuse to believe, chat. I refuse to believe, chat, that Maresca would be happy with the same goalkeepers again for next season. I just refuse to believe that. There's no way he is happy with the same goalkeepers, because why are we targeting Mike Maignan if he was happy with what we've got? Why? Bro, I don't even think that it's about Maresca loving Sanchez. It's clear that he doesn't, because Chelsea were looking for a new goalkeeper. It's obvious that he doesn't love Sanchez. You know, maybe he rates Sanchez more than Jorgensen. Maybe he rates Sanchez more than Jorgensen, chat. But if Maresca was happy with his goalkeepers, then he would have... He wouldn't be looking for a new one. Petrovic is better than Sanchez. It's not even a conversation. It's not even a conversation. So for me, the only way getting rid of Petrovic makes sense is if A, he wants to go, and B, you are signing Maignan. If we get rid of Petrovic and we sign no new goalkeeper and we stick with Robert Sanchez and we stick with Philip Jorgensen, then it's an absolute fucking joke and a complete and utter waste of everyone's time. And here we are again. People are being blinded because Sanchez saves a few shots. Sanchez is shit. How many times do we have to say this? Yes, he's a reasonable shot stopper, and yes, he had a few good performances towards the end of the season. But make no mistake about it, chat. A leopard doesn't change its spots. Sanchez will always be a liability to this team. His distribution is shocking, and he will always make mistakes that cost you goals. Over the course of a season, Sanchez will cost you more points than he saves you, as we've seen over the past 2 seasons since he's been here. And we've still got people doing up Sanchez prop. We are never going to be a serious team with Robert Sanchez in goal. You are not going to win major trophies with Sanchez in goal. Look at every top team that wins stuff. Look at every top team that wins. And they've got a top-class goalkeeper. Sanchez is not a top-class goalkeeper. The only thing he's top-class in is making mistakes that lead to goals. I'm sorry. I'm just not on board with Robert Sanchez at all. Petrovic is better than Sanchez. He's better than Sanchez. Yeah, of course. We want the new goalkeeper. It's so obvious, chat. We are desperate for a new goalkeeper. We want a new goalkeeper. So Sanchez is a liability. I don't understand how people can say that Sanchez is not a liability. He's a fucking liability, chat. He's an absolute liability. How much more evidence do we need that Sanchez is a liability and a net negative to this team? Bro, he shouldn't have to come and show to be number one. He shouldn't have to be. Yeah. And that's a fair expectation given the shits we've got in goal right now. I would absolutely expect, after the season that Petrovic has just had, for him to come in and be the number one. Now, Sanchez, don't get me wrong. I've applauded him for good performances that he's had. However, nothing's going to change my mind that over the long run, he's a net negative to this Chelsea team, and we will never be serious and challenge for the major trophies with Robert Sanchez in goal. Is Robert Sanchez a Premier League winning goalkeeper, chat? No, he's not. No, he's not. He is not a Premier League winning goalkeeper, chat. Absolutely no way is he a Premier League winning goalkeeper. And we know this. We know that he's not. So, look, I want Magnan. No, but by the way, if we don't get Magnan and we don't get another goalkeeper in, then Petrovic is absolutely an upgrade for next season. Absolutely an upgrade for next season. Absolutely an upgrade for next season. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really too sure what's going on. I'm not really too sure what's going on there. The problem is, though, do we trust the club to get a number one in? Because otherwise, if we sell Petrovic and we just hope on the off chance we might get another keeper in, that's not going to look particularly good for us. It's not going to look particularly good. No, it's not about not wanting to fight for his spot. It's not about not wanting to fight for his spot. Do you really think that Petrovic is scared of fighting Robert Sanchez for his spot? Is that where we are right now? Do we really think that that Petrovic is scared of fighting Sanchez for his spot? Have we lost our minds? Have we lost our minds, chat? But the thing is, right, with goalkeepers, it's weird. With goalkeepers, it's weird because for some reason, the pricing for goalkeepers seems to be so different. Because if you look at the most expensive goalkeepers, chat, in the world, okay, let's bring up the most expensive goalkeepers in the world, because for some reason goalkeepers are valued totally differently to outfield players, totally differently to outfield players. So let's have a look. Transfermarkt doing up the stats here on the most expensive goalkeepers. If this would like to load, is this going to load? Because let's see where 25 mil puts you in the most expensive goalkeepers list. Because I'm telling you now, chap, that will probably put you well inside the top 10. Let's get to the top 10, chap. Okay, top 10. You've got Manuel Neuer, 30 million euros. Mamardashvili, 30 million euros. David Raya, 31.9 million euros, number 8. Thibaut Courtois, that's mental, isn't it? Remember how unbelievable Courtois was? We only sold him for 35 million euros to Real Madrid. 35 million euros to Real Madrid. He's number 7. Number 6, Sillerson, 35 million euros. Number 5, Ederson, 40 million euros, Benfica to Man City. Number 4, Andre Onana, 52.5 million euros. Buffon, 52.8 million euros. Alisson, 62.5, and then Kepa, obviously 80 million euros. So 25 million quid is about 30 million euros, chat. So if we got him for 30 million euros, that puts Petrovic inside the top 10 most expensive goalkeepers of all time at 30 million euros. That's so mad, isn't it, when you think about it? That's so mad that Petrovic, for 30 million euros, chat, he would become one of the top 10 most expensive goalkeepers of all time. It's mental, that, isn't it? Absolutely mental. Bro, I absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. No, look, I absolutely agree with you on that front as well. I absolutely agree with you on that front. No one should have a divine right to be number 1. But I do think, given how poor Sanchez has been and given the season that Petrovic has come off, there is an expectation that he should be given a run as number 1, and we see what happens. There's absolutely an expectation that should be the case. Yes, big up, bro. Nah, Victor Osimhen is not still on. Victor Osimhen to Chelsea was never on. It was never on. Never on. Yeah, we may well do. We absolutely may well do. There's no doubt about it. We could easily regret getting rid of him, for sure. For sure. We could absolutely easily regret that. Possibly, yeah. But you know what's mad, right? If we didn't own Petrovic and he just had this season, Petrovic is the sort of goalkeeper that we would be looking to spend about 25, 30 million on. That's what doesn't make sense, chat. That's what doesn't make sense, is that Petrovic, if we didn't own him, we'd be looking to buy him for about 25 million. That's the funny thing in this situation, is that he's the exact sort of goalkeeper that we'd be interested in buying, and we own him and we're looking to sell him. Bro, you're cherry picking one stat to suit your narrative. What's far more important are a load of other stats, you know? Yes, and whether you like it or not, distribution and how good a goalkeeper is with his feet is a massive part of the game, of the modern game. That can't just be ignored. That can't be ignored. He's terrible at that. He makes so many mistakes. I know goalkeepers will make mistakes. Sanchez, without fail, will make 4 or 5 costly errors every single season. Every single season. And when you compare him to Petrovic across all the stats, nowhere near as good. Yes, okay, his save percentage was higher last season. Fine. But other than that, he doesn't rank higher in anything else. Bro, I would love Sanchez to be sold. I just don't see where the market is for him. Where's the market for him? And again, this is exactly it. Because the reason why his save percentage is high is because we faced so many shots. You know, we're facing a lot of shots. We certainly did face a lot of shots. Yeah, Petrovic literally was miles clear on numerous statistics last season in Europe's top 5 leagues. Miles clear. But yeah, let's wait and see what comes of it. I wouldn't be surprised if no one bid this. I wouldn't be surprised if no one bid it, chat. It put him in the top 10 most expensive keepers of all time. I don't know who's going to bid that much money for him, given the fact that goalkeepers, there doesn't seem to be an awful lot of interest in him. Not interest in him, but clubs aren't prepared to spend massive money on goalkeepers. It's a strange one, but yeah, chat, that is the latest on Petrovic. Let's see if any suitors come forward for 25 million. Let's see if any suitors come forward for those 25 M's. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, Potter needs to come and get his man. GP, come and get your man. Come and collect your son. Come and get him. Because we definitely don't want him. We definitely don't want him. But that's the latest on the goalkeeper situation. There's nothing to update with on Munyan. Petrovic and Chelsea have got a gentleman's agreement if someone bids 25 mil. If they don't, who knows? Could you imagine after all this, right, that Petrovic ends up coming back? That Petrovic ends up coming back and then he suddenly ends up being number one. No, I'm not overlooking that. But as a total package, Munyan is way better than Sanchez. And Petrovic as a total package is better than Sanchez. Sanchez might have a higher save percentage, but as an overall package, when you bring everything into consideration, Sanchez is nowhere near as good as Munyan, and he's nowhere near as good as Petrovic. And it's as simple as that. As simple as that. But anyway, let's move away from that. We'll wait and see how that goalkeeping situation develops. But let's move on to the wide players. And I touched on the Malick Fofana stuff briefly in the watch along yesterday. We're going to go into it in more detail now. So Maresca, after the game, was saying on the kind of attackers he wants, I prefer to have 4 or 5 guys who scored 10 to 12 goals each than one striker with 40. Enzo scored again today, which is good. So, look, I agree with him in principle, by the way. I agree with him that you don't want to be reliant on one guy scoring all the goals. I absolutely get that. You don't. Because if they get injured, you're fucked. However, when I look at our players and I look at the options that we've got at the moment, we haven't got 4 or 5 guys who are capable of scoring 10 to 12 goals. I'd say Palmer is and Delap is. Those two. Palmer and Delap are capable of 10 to 12 goals in the Premier League. Other than that, no one else is. I don't think Madueke is. I don't think Neto is. Gittins certainly isn't to start with. Esteval isn't to start with. Enzo Fernandez, I don't think gets you 10 to 12 goals in the league. In all competitions, yeah, absolutely, I think he can. So you look at that, right, and that's all very well and good. But the reality is that we haven't got any. We've got 2 players in the squad, really, chat, who are going to score 10 to 12 goals between them. Bro, are you joking? You think Esteval's going to score 30 goals in the league next season? Brother, come on. Bro, Djordje Petrovic is not going to be here next season. Djordje Petrovic is not going to be here next season, by the way. Yeah, we will, and we're desperate. We're desperate. But Jamie Gittins is not going to get you 10 to 12 goals in the league. He's not. Not in the first season, he's not. He scored 8 in the Bundesliga last season. So I get it, you know. We'd all love a serial bagsman, but ultimately, from a team perspective, it makes more sense to have multiple players who are contributing. All right? Let's say Delap got 20 and Palmer got 20. Oh, yeah, of course. We got Jackson as well. Jackson could get you 10 to 12. Jackson could get you 10 to 12. So we've got Jackson, Palmer, and Delap who will get you 10 plus Premier League goals next season, I think. Other than that, Other than that, we are struggling. We are struggling, chat. There's no denying it. We're absolutely struggling. Other than that, so that there's that there, right? And then we've got the latest on Jamie Gittins here. So, Jamie Gittins is clearly the most likely to fill the Chelsea winger role as things stand. Among the candidates being viewed to meet their other attacking requirements are Ekitike, Kudos and João Pedro. A verbal inquiry for Malick Fofana also made. It's interesting, chat, that João Pedro's name is still being mentioned by The Athletic. Bro, Neto can't bang goals. Neto's never been a prolific goal scorer in his career at all. Now, maybe that can change and maybe he can develop that. But Neto's has not been a prolific goal scorer throughout his career at all. Not been a prolific goal scorer throughout his career. So maybe he can add that. Gittins what? Gittins got 12 goals last season, chap. 8 in the Bundesliga, 4 in the Premier League. Palmer, Jackson, Noni, Delap can all score 10 Prem goals next season. It's very possible. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. But again, we're taking a big gamble, chat. We are taking a big gamble. We are taking a big gamble here. Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree that we're not working behind the scenes. Sure, the numbers weren't horrendous. But what I would say is, though, is that compared to Havertz, compared to Werner, Nkunku, Jadon Sancho, Gittins, those 4 absolutely tore up the Bundesliga. Gittins, and they are all bang average in the Premier League. Gittins has achieved nowhere near as much as any of those 4 guys in the Premier League. Sorry, in the Bundesliga. Nowhere near what those guys achieved in the Bundesliga. What Sancho was doing at the same age as Gittins in the Bundesliga was levels. Absolute levels. Gittins has reached nowhere near those levels of those players who came to the Prem and were all average. The reason Gittins weren't starting for Dortmund, I don't think it's a quality issue. It's just that the way that Kovac plays don't really suit him. It doesn't really suit him. Look, Gittins has got talent and he's got potential, and it's an absolutely classic, standard Clear Lake signing, chat. It's a standard Clear Lake signing. It's exactly the sort of thing that they would do. But we look at the wide players, and you watch Chelsea yesterday, and we are screaming, absolutely screaming for quality on that left wing. We're desperate for it. The lack of quality in the wide areas is alarming. It's absolutely alarming. Tyreek Djordje had a stinker yesterday, an absolute stinker. Madueke, the same. Neto had a decent game, fair play to him. But we cannot go into next season with Madueke, George, and Neto. We will obviously get one more. But if we go in next season, chat, right, is anyone actually happy going into next season with Esteban, Madueke, Neto, Gittins, Esteban, Madueke, Neto, Gittins, and George? That for the Champions League? For the Champions League? Are we really saying that we'd be happy with that? Is that really moving us up levels? No, what I said was, is Gittins considerably better? And I don't think he's considerably better. If you put George and gave George the minutes that Gittins have at Dortmund, I think he does similar numbers. That was the point that I was making, is that Gittins is not a considerable upgrade. Not a considerable upgrade. But this is the problem. This is the problem, is that the market is not good for wide players. The market's not good for wide players. Look, I would have said Nico Williams, but there's no chance of getting him. No chance of getting him. Got Quender's coming in. So we got one winger coming in. And sure, you know, a versatile attacker will probably arrive as well. And we need that. We do need that. But Gittins is not better than what we've got, chat. And this is the point that I'm making, is that Gittins is not better than what we've already got. And that in itself is an issue. Because the guys that are starting now, Madueke, for example, I like him. He should be a squad player. He should be a squad player and a rotation option. And you're desperate for quality on the left wing. Bro, Gittins scored 4 goals. You can't say that Gittins is cooking in the Champions League. He got 4 goals in the Champions League last season. 4 goals in the Champions League last season, and we're saying he's cooking in the Champions League. He's not. And this is my point. Yeah, he was last season in terms of output. He was last season in terms of output. Absolutely not. Why on earth would we sign Rasmus Højlund? Why would we do that? Anyway, chat, keep smashing that like button. We're 181 in the building, 65 likes. Let's get this up over 100 likes, chat. Keep smashing that like button. It's free. It's free and it takes seconds to do, chat. Run those likes up. Let's get this up to 100 likes and beyond. And keep smashing that subscribe button as well. Keep smashing that subscribe button, chat. We're 50 subs away from 16,900. Let's get as many of those as we can today. Run the likes up. Get it done. Performance-wise, Noni is literally the worst attacker in the squad. Look, he didn't... I don't think he's the worst in the squad, no. We need better. There's no doubt about it. We need better. We need better, chat. Well, we wouldn't win the league, but it would certainly help us to compete. Look, Nico Williams and Kudus would be fantastic. But it's not happening. Garnacho still on the list tells you all you need to know. Yeah, I mean, look, chat, there's also that possibility as well, by the way. There's also that possibility as well, which, yeah, it can't be ruled out, chat. It cannot be ruled out. It cannot be ruled out. And that is a concern. That is a big concern, chat. Yeah, Noni was bad yesterday. He was. The fact that Chelsea looking at Garnacho means we're not serious. Yeah, now I know you're trolling. This man's talking about Sterling for another year. Come on, let's be serious. But yeah, so we're looking at a versatile attacker. A Kudus. Look, I would like Kudus. No, I'm actually not. But what I would say is that you just applaud everything the club does. You know, being critical doesn't mean you don't support the team. All I'm saying is signing Jamie Gittins does not solve our problems on the left wing. It doesn't. It adds a young, inexperienced, raw player with talent, which we've got loads of them already. We don't need another one of them. Kudus and João Pedro. Yeah, we're not going to get Diaz. We won't get Diaz. But Gittins seems to be the favourite. But we did have the Ornstein Bomber chat. We had the Ornstein Bomber about a verbal inquiry for Malick Fofana yesterday. Now, Malick Fofana is also attracting interest from Liverpool, I think, which is a bit of a concern. But you know what's interesting, chat, is that maybe our scouting isn't as bad as what we first thought, because we seemingly have very similar targets to Liverpool. It's just the big difference is that Liverpool can close deals, whereas we can't. Whereas we can't really, or we struggle to do that. Now, Liverpool do seem to be interested in him as well. But if you look at Malick Fofana versus the top 5 wingers, let's just bring this up now. We'll get into that Liverpool interest in Fofana shortly. I mean, chat, who would you rather have? If you had a choice, Malick Fofana or Jamie Gittins, what are you telling me, chat? Gittins or Fofana? Who would you rather have? Bro, I'm pretty sure that Alex Baena is going to Atletico Madrid. I swear I've seen he's going to Atletico Madrid and it's done. No, I don't hate Gittins. All I'm saying is it's not a big enough step up in terms of quality to what we've already got. It's not a big enough step up. And I'm not going to look at Jamie Gittins coming in and think, wow, our attack's been really elevated here. That's the biggest issue, is that Gittins is a squad player right now. A squad player, numbers, you know. I mean, let's not go too far with the Malick Fofana and Eden Hazard comparisons, chat. That's a bit mental. But ultimately, like right now, for the lack of quality we've got on the left-hand side, neither Fofana nor Gittins are actually good enough. Both would be squad players to begin with. But if you look at the stats here, chat, in under 20 wingers in top 5 leagues, most crosses per 90, most accurate crosses per 90, most progressive carries per 90, and highest non-penalty XG shots per 90 as well. So Malick Fofana obviously ranks highly in stats in his age in Europe's top 20, in Europe's top 5 leagues for wingers under the age of 20. Yeah, if Diaz leaves, I'm not sure there's any guarantee that Diaz leaves, chat. I don't think there's any guarantee that Diaz leaves. That's the thing. I just don't know. I just don't know. Look, he's clearly a talented player. There's no doubt about it. He's absolutely a talented player. But again, my issues are, chat, as I said yesterday, is that these are the sort of players, by the way, that we could have signed with Europa League football. We could have signed Malick Fofana. We could have signed Gittins. We could have signed Gittins, Fofana without Champions League football. This is my issue, and this is my disappointment, is that the targets are exactly the same, seemingly, with or without Champions League football. You know, I honestly thought maybe we'd move into a different bracket of target with Champions League football, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it, chat. And that's the disappointing thing right now, is that it's just looking a bit techie, chat, on that front. It's just like, what's going on here? What's going on? Yeah, and then we got the interest here as well, confirmed by Get French Football News via L'Equipe. Liverpool have opened talks to sign Malick Fofana amid interest from Chelsea and Manchester United. Let's dive into this article. Malick Fofana is gathering considerable interest in the Premier League, as well as Chelsea and Nottingham Forest cited as potential destinations for the winger. L'Equipe now reports interest from Liverpool and Man United. With Lyon in financial difficulty, Fofana was earmarked as one of the players who could leave the club this summer. And like Cherki, he could fetch a handsome fee. Lyon €50 for Fofana. Chelsea have already opened casual talks. I wonder how that goes. Casual talks. We ring up John Texter. What's going on, JT? What are you saying about Fofana? What are you saying? Price tag. Talk to me. Are we talking? Is that sort of the level of casualness we're talking about here? I don't really know. I don't really know. Mental. It's got new agents as well, by the way. Whilst Nottingham Forest had an interest in Fofana, the L'Equipe reports that the club do not have the necessary stature to tempt the player. Know your place, Wolfie. Know your place. You don't have the necessary stature, mate. You don't have the necessary stature. It's unfortunate that, brother. Some clubs are big and some clubs are just tin pot, unfortunately. And yeah, know your place, brother. No Malick Fofana for you. No, it's not about knocking every player. All I'm saying is that the players that we're being linked with are not going to take this team to the next level, or they're not going to take this team to the next level immediately. That's my issue, chat. 50 million euros is the reported asking price for Malick Fofana. So 50 million euros in pounds, chat, is probably about 40 million quid. 50 million euros in GBP. Yeah, 42. It's 42 M's. That's high. That is on the high side for Malick Fofana. I'll be honest, chat. When I'm looking at Fofana and Gittins and stuff, these are 35, in my opinion, 35 absolute tops, £40 million deals. Once you start going over that money, it's too much for players like that. And you should really be then shopping in a bracket above if you're going to be looking at spending that much money. That's the issue here. But I do like Malick Fofana. I do like Jamie Gittins. But ultimately, for the roles that we need better quality, because they are just competition/rotation options. They're competition/rotation options. That's what they are. They're not level raisers. You know, please, chat. Am I losing my mind here? Am I going mad? A Fofana or a Gittins, is that level raisers to our attack? Is that level raisers to our attack? You know, Gyökeres is not overrated, chat. Gyökeres is definitely not overrated. No chance. Absolutely no chance is Gyökeres overrated. Yep, I hear you, bro. I hear you. I wouldn't think twice about dropping that on Eze. Let's be real, right? Kudos is going to cost you 70. Ekitike is going to cost you 70. And Eze is going to cost you 70. So when you look at that, those three are all going to cost you the same amount of money. João Pedro is going to cost you about 60. So all these players we're linked with are going to cost you 60 to 70 million. I don't know how much Morgan Rogers is going to cost you. Maybe Morgan Rogers is going to cost you a bit more. Chat, keep smashing the likes. We're 20 short now of 100. Run it up, run it up, run it up. And this is it. This is it, you know. Sometimes if you want a player, if you want a player that badly and he's going to make a significant difference to your team, do you know what? Sometimes you will have to overpay. You do have to overpay. That's just the way it goes, chat. What do I think about trying Jackson on the left? Look, I wouldn't be dead against trying Jackson on the left, but it's clear that Delap and Jackson are the nines this season. You know, maybe in the odd game here or there, we might see it. I don't know. Bro, even if Felix or Nkunku are loans, they're dead. They're finished at Chelsea. They're done. Eze, João Pedro and Kudos. Bro, we're not going to get all three. It would be one of them. It would be one. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be a disaster. I'm not a huge Leao fan. I just think there's way too much inconsistency in his game. And again, similar price tag. You're looking at around 70, which is a lot of money. It's a lot of money, chat. A lot of money. No, and Nkunku's done. He's not staying. No. No, I'm not saying they can't be. But in terms of next season and in terms of improving the team, they aren't. They won't be next season. That's the thing. You know, if a Fofana or a Gittins comes in, you've got a Gittins or a Fofana and an Esteval, two players who are massively inexperienced out of your options. You know, Pedro Neto is basically the senior winger, and even he needs to improve his output. Even he hasn't really been good enough, chat. So, yeah, these are the issues that we're faced with. No, I'm not, because of his off the pitch stuff. No club in England's going to touch Greenwood. Yeah, but Kudus just had a bad year last year. You know, it's the thing. Kudus has got quality. But it's going to be interesting, chat. It's going to be interesting. It's clear in the winger options. It's Kudus or it's Gittins or Fofana. And then for that versatile role, it's probably Ekitike or Kudus or João Pedro's mentioned. I think if Chelsea genuinely wanted João Pedro, we could have done that deal already by now. If we genuinely wanted João Pedro, I think that deal would be done by now. If I had to take a stab in the dark right now, then I would say the most likely one is Kudus. If I had to say right now. Obviously, a lot can change, but if I was hedging my bets, I'd say, do you know what? I probably think Kudus is perhaps the easiest one to get. I'm not sure what our relationship with Palace is like after the Michael Elise debacle. Maybe it's repaired itself a little bit. I'm not sure. West Ham can be difficult to deal with. Malick Fofana, I like him. I mean, what's being said here? Gittins is most likely to fill that role, yep. But in terms of another striker, chat, it doesn't look like another striker is going to come in. I don't think we're getting another number 9. I don't think we're getting another 9, chat, you know, because we've got here where is it? Is that Benjamin Sesko has been removed from the Chelsea wish list once they signed Liam Delap. His playing style is seen as similar to Delap, so he is no longer needed. Okay, fine. Apparently, we've been tracking Sesko for 3 years. I don't know whether that's true or not. It wouldn't surprise me. Probably did track him when he was about 17 or 18. I don't think we are signing another winger, chat. I don't think we are. But yeah, I just think we need another striker. I still think we need another striker. Look, I'm happy with Delap. I am happy with Liam Delap. But over the course of a season, is Delap and Jackson as a 9 enough? Plus a versatile forward? I'm not sure. We're talking Champions League campaign here, chat. We're talking a Champions League campaign. Is that enough? Yeah, I like the look of this Vault made as well. Maybe we go for him. But for a Champions League campaign, I'm concerned that Delap and Jackson, is that going to be enough? I don't think it is. Yeah, but we do need another striker. Depends on who the versatile forward is. Agreed. But I wouldn't look. Kudus can play centrally, but I wouldn't be that keen on seeing Kudus playing centrally, chat. I wouldn't be that keen on it. And that's where a Vault made makes more sense, because centrally he would be better. Centrally, he absolutely would be better, chat. There's no denying that. Centrally, he would be better. So it'll be very interesting to see. By the way, chat, we're still 14 likes short of 100. Keep smashing that like button. Run it up, guys. Would greatly appreciate it. Let's get these likes up, chat. Let's get them up and keep subscribing as well. If you're new round here, it would be greatly appreciated. Don't rate Sesko at all. Fair enough. Get Vault made and sell Jackson. No, we don't need to sell Jackson, but I don't know if that's going to be him. Love Malick. Fair enough. What's happening with Guiu? Guiu will be loaned out. Guiu will be loaned out. There's no way Guiu's going to be part of the squad next season. No chance. Absolutely not. And particularly at his age as well, chat, he needs to be playing. He needs to be playing. I just don't think Maresca sees Jackson as a left winger. I just don't think he sees him as one, chat. I don't think he sees him as a left winger. I really don't. I mean, he's still young and he's still raw. He needs to go and play football. He just needs to go and play regular first team football. And at Chelsea, that's not going to happen. With Chelsea, that's not happening, chat. You know, that's what we need. But right now, I would be, for me, I would be putting more money into this left wing option than I would be into this versatile forward situation. Because right now, for me, left wing is the number one priority. The number one priority, chat. We need to get left wing. Left wing needs to be locked down and sorted. And we need a top-class left winger. We need a top-class left winger. We're desperate, chat. We are desperate. We need that world-class left winger. You know, don't get me wrong. Versatile forward, great. No problem. Let's get one in. But right now, the number one priority is the left wing. I mean, the Amiga thing's not confirmed. Obviously, we know Quender's confirmed, but Amiga is definitely not confirmed. It's possible that we'll do a pre-agreement this summer, but it's not confirmed. It's absolutely not confirmed. Absolutely not. So, yeah, as much as I'd like another 9, it's massive that we get the left wing right. Absolutely massive. Because let's be real, chat. Pretty much every winger we've got, or most of the wingers we've got, are bench players. They are. Most of them are bench players. Most of our squad now, in terms of wingers, are bench players. Do you know how mad that is? Most of them are bench players. Sure, if it gets confirmed, maybe we don't need another 9. Maybe we don't need another 9 if it's confirmed. Yeah, no, Matoma's not coming. Matoma's not coming. Yeah, that was the one that got away. That was the one that got away. Yes, big yourself up, bro. Big yourself up. Welcome to the community, brother. Welcome to the community. Appreciate you joining. Appreciate it. Bro, could you imagine, right? In an alternative universe, if things have been different, in an alternative universe, chat, we could have had Rafinha and Michael Elise as our wingers in an alternative universe. Rafinha wanted Barca, so we obviously missed out despite agreeing a fee. But we could have had Rafinha and Michael Elise as our starting wingers. Could you imagine that, chat? Imagine that. Could you imagine that? Fuck. Sometimes you just think about it and you look back and you just sort of see the players that we missed out on or that we could have got. And you're like, shit, that could have been serious. We could have had, chat. Hear me out here. We could have had, and this is not beyond the realms of possibility, we could have had a front four of Osimhen, Rafinha, Elise, and Palmer. We could have had that. Osimhen, Palmer, Elise, Rafinha. That was a possibility, chat. That was a possibility. We fumbled Elise. Rafinha wanted Barca over us. It is what it is. And Osimhen, obviously, yeah, we wouldn't pay the wages. But in an alternative universe, in an alternative reality, chat, that attack would have been cold. Would have been cold as fuck. It would have been a joke. It would have been an absolute joke, that attack. Yeah, he's absolutely outstanding. Proper old school winger, socks down, works his arse off up and down the pitch, both sides of the game. What an exceptional footballer. What an unbelievable player Kvaratskhelia is. What a player. Yeah, no surprise there at all. No surprise at all. Yeah, of course it is, bro. Of course it is. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the wages would have been, but yeah, look, I hear it. I hear it. I hear it. I mean, yeah, Maradona is, I mean, what a player he is. What a player, chat. What a player. Guys, keep smashing the likes. Run it up. Run it up. Over 200 in the building now. Over 200 in the building. What, you think Neto can be like Kvaratskhelia? Bro, let's. I mean, for me, Barcola for me over Gittins. For me, Barcola over Gittins. But that's obviously not going to happen. But yeah, I would be a Barcola over Gittins, chat, for sure. Maybe we can loan out Leao to look how good he actually is, bro. Milan aren't going to loan us him. I don't think Sancho's going to Napoli. Well, not that it matters now. It's not our problem anymore. Not our problem, chat. Problem is, though, who on this left wing, right? And I get it. I get it. We need an upgrade signing on the left. We need to sign someone big on the left-hand side. No more projects, chat. No more projects. We need to sign someone big on that left-hand side. And despite the fact that he lacks consistency, despite the fact I'm not entirely sure or fully convinced on him, realistically now, the big upgrade signing on that left-hand side is Rafa Leao. That is the option that is available in the market now for a big upgrade on that left-hand side is Rafael Leao. It is. We did miss Doué last summer, but that's because he wanted PSG. You know, it is what it is. French player wants to play for PSG. Not really a shock there. It's like Spanish player wants to play for Real Madrid. You know, and these things aren't a shock to anyone. These things aren't a shock to anyone. But Leao is that interesting signing. You know, he's probably really that upgrade. The options that we're getting linked with right now, squad options. Squad options, chat. Squad options, and we need starters. We need starters. We're desperate for starters, chat. No, big names don't. Big names don't. But Leao is considerably better than Gittins and considerably better than Malick Fofana. I would much rather Rafa Leao was signed than Gittins or Fofana. And that's just the reality. Yeah, and again, that's the big question. To be fair, for Portugal, when he played in the Nations League final, he he tracks back and he defended. Leao laughs a lot. I mean, bro, what's that got to do with anything? I mean, what are we doing here? What has that got to do with anything? What on earth has that got to do with anything? But Leao's the sort of player that can turn it on and can cause havoc to any defences. He can cause absolute carnage, chat. Absolute carnage. Yeah, bro, no one's paying 70 million. No one's paying 70 million for Semenyo. No one's paying that. I mean, Bournemouth are getting decimated. They're getting absolutely picked apart. But yeah, no one's paying 50 mil for Semenyo. Sorry, I think Bournemouth wants 70 mil. No one's paying that for Antoine Semenyo, chat. No one. No one is paying that at all. Absolutely no one's paying that. But look, yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind it. It's not terrible. But again, for that price, it's a joke. Bro, Kingsley Coman way too injury prone. That just simply isn't going to happen. That simply is not going to happen. I'd imagine Robert Sanchez. Yeah, I mean, could you imagine, right, if it was like Gittins, Garnacho, or Fofana? It's just, fuck me. It's not great, is it? It's not great, chat. It's not great. It really isn't great. But I mean, what do we do? Any chance of Mudryk coming back? Fuck knows. Absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea. Yeah, bro, I hear you. It's a bit of a crazy one. It's a bit of a crazy one for sure. A bit of a crazy one, no doubt about it. What else is going on? What else is going on, chat? What else is going on? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, I mean, Nico Williams is willing to take a pay cut to join Barcelona. No surprises there. It was always going to be the case. It was always going to be the case. Always going to be the case. But there's also a fair point to be made, chat, on these wingers as well. By the way, why are they a lot of these guys always leave a season too early. They always leave a season too early. Let's be real. Is Gittins really ready to play for Chelsea in the Premier League? Is Malick Fofana really ready for that? These guys would probably hugely benefit from staying another season in their respective clubs, getting more experience under their belts. Too many of these lot bounce at the first possible opportunity and they're not ready, and it often sets them back. That's the problem here, guys. That's the problem here. And right now, he's not the guy. Right now, he's not the guy at the moment. You know, at Lyon, you know, he plays that touchline role. Yeah, I'd take him. I'd take him. Yeah. Yeah, he'll play next season, but anyone expecting miracles from him is deluded. Absolutely deluded. Yeah, he'll play next season. Of course, he'll get games and stuff. What I would say is, though, one more season at Lyon is not going to suddenly make Malick Fofana a €100 million player. Just like one more season at Dortmund is not going to considerably increase the price of Jamie Gittins. And I get it. Sometimes you've got to roll the dice and take that gamble so that you don't then see the following summer, fuck, we could have got him for 50 mil, but now we've got to have to pay 70 or 80. I get that. But let's be honest, Gittins and Fofana should really be spending at least one more season at their respective clubs. They should be. They should be. No, he doesn't. It's very obvious he doesn't. It's very, very obvious that he doesn't. Very, very obvious that he doesn't, chat. I mean, it couldn't be more obvious, actually. Yeah, 100%. Of course he will. Esteval needs time. Bro, let's be real. Any of us in this chat could have cooked United last season. Any of us in the chat could have cooked United last season. Bro, we're not going to get Fofana and Gittins. We'll get one or the other. We'll get one or the other. And I suspect it'll be Jamie Gittins. We'll get one or the other on in terms of wing signings. It'll be one or the other. But yeah, look, Hato maybe comes in. I don't know if another centre back's going to come or not. That'll be interesting to see. Be interesting to see what happens with that. There's a long way to go this summer, by the way, chat. So we shouldn't be sort of losing our minds this early. But it's just disappointing that a lot of these targets are just squad level players. A lot of these targets are just squad level players. And I just look at that and I just think, it's just really underwhelming and uninspiring, chat. Yeah, it's just very underwhelming. It's very underwhelming. Other than Munyan, right? Have we been linked with any players this summer where you've gone, wow? We haven't, have we? We just haven't. I mean, and yeah, look, the market's not good. I get it. You know, the market is not amazing this summer. 100% it's not. Particularly in the positions that we're looking at. Because, bro, that's what the club will do. Left winger and a versatile forward. We're not going to sign two out-and-out left wingers. We're not going to sign two out-and-out left wingers. That's the reality. We're not signing two out-and-out left wingers, though. We'll sign one, and then we'll get a versatile attacker. And that's what's going to happen. No, but Santos, Asuga, and Esteval already signed. Those aren't new deals. I mean, it would have to be strongly considered, but I'd need to get a ticket though. But we're a long, long way from thinking about that. Yeah, look, and I said it at the time, the Delap signing was good work, and I'm happy with that Delap signing. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy with that Delap signing. I am. I am happy with it, chat. I am happy with it. Any news on players going out? Yeah, we'll get to that. Remember when we came 12th and the following summer we signed anything that walked? Tell me the difference of those to the ones we're buying now. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I guess the last time really we signed some top players was really Enzo and Caicedo. Really was Enzo and Caicedo, chat. Yeah, in terms of depth, absolutely. You know, you've got Santos, you've got Asugu, etc., etc. But the squad wasn't necessarily the problem. It was the quality of the first 11. And that's not changed. Yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. It'll be two, I imagine it, given it's 1 day between the games, it'll be 2 separate 11s for each game. I'd be very surprised if any players are involved in both games. I'd be very surprised. Very, very surprised if any players are involved in both games, chat. So yeah, we'll see on that one. We'll see. Well, I mean, technically it is because you've got Santos in there, you've got Asugu in there, you've got Delap in there. So it is better than it's better than what finished last season with those 3 players in. It's better. It is better. And you'll add Esteban in there as well. So it will be better than the squad that finished last season. The issue is, will it be good enough? That's the issue. But of course, with the players that have been added, no, we're not going in for Osimhen. No, I don't see that at all. Yeah, look, we need to add more quality. We need to add more quality to the team and more proven quality. I think that's the big difference here, chat. We need to add more proven quality to the team, more proven quality. But yeah, guys, keep smashing the likes, by the way. Just under the 200 in the building still. Only 119 likes. Let's try and get this to 150. Keep running it up, chat. Smash those likes. Subscribe if you're new around here. All of that good stuff. All of that good stuff. So yeah, run it up, run it up. Let's get this to 150. Yeah, Delap played well. Delap played well last night. Yeah, bro, there isn't one. There isn't a backup to Cucurella. That's massively important. That's massively important. You know, it's about quality. I don't just want us to sign numbers for the sake of it. The quality is the most important thing. The quality is absolutely vital. Well, yeah, well, exactly. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, you'd have to be pretty unlucky for them both to be injured at the same time, but it's a valid point. It is a valid point. And I don't know what the solution would be. I don't know what the solution would be. I hope so, but we need to get a move on with that. Yeah, he's another one that's been looked at. Aston Villa have opened conversations. I don't know how likely it is that we're going to move for him or not. I mean, look, we need a top level in all them positions. All them positions we need top level. When is the AFCON? When's AFCON next year? But yeah, look, what we need. Let's wait and see. Only time will tell. It's next January. It's next January. Yeah, but bro, the point is that we need better first team players so that our current starters, a lot of them should be squad players. That's the point that we're getting at here. That's the point that we're getting at here, chat, is that really a number of players that are starting should be squad players. That's the reality. That is the reality, chat. That's the reality of the situation. It's going to be very interesting to see what we do. Very interesting. Yeah, bro, I hear it. I absolutely hear it. I absolutely hear it. And I fully agree. I fully agree. I fully agree. It's gonna be fascinating to see what we end up doing. It is going to be fascinating to see what we end up doing, chat. It's going to be really, really interesting. Really interesting. I just don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to be looking at. I'm really not sure. I mean, would it have been better to spend more money on Quenda to get him in now rather than waiting? I don't know. Well, bro, you're looking at someone like a Kudos. They're looking at Ekatike, looking at Joao Pedro. Morgan Rogers is a player that's potentially been mentioned as well. You know, there are some options. There are some options. There are some options. But yeah, it's obviously problematic, chap. It is problematic. No denying it. I don't know. I've got absolutely no idea why they didn't think it was worth spending more money on Mignan. I've got no idea. Absolutely no idea why, in their infinite wisdom, they yeah, our next game's on Friday, 7 p.m. kickoff UK time. 7 p.m. kickoff. I don't know why I didn't think it was a good idea. I really don't know why. Really don't know why. Yeah, bro, we know we're not going to pay 84 for Ekatike. Yeah, quite possibly, bro. Quite possibly. Yeah, we can. We can sign players now. The transfer window's open. But if you want them to feature in the Club World Cup, they need to be signed before July 3rd. They need to be signed before July 3rd. Ekatike is from Frankfurt and he's French. He's a France under 21 international. France under 21 international. Again, I wouldn't be against Ekatike. It's just the price is ridiculous. The price is ridiculous. If you're going to spend 100 million euros, you can do way better than signing Ekatike, chat. You can do way better than that. Way better. Way better. But yeah, we'll see, chat. We will see what we then end up doing. But it's really critical. Look, the recruitment in general has been an issue. And that obviously is set by the ownership, but then it's obviously carried out by the directors. Look, I do like Madueke, but I've always maintained he should be a squad player. He should be a squad player. I've got no issue with Madueke being a squad player, but if Madueke is starting for Chelsea week in, week out, then that's an issue for me. That's an issue. Now, I don't think we're going to go for any Barcelona players. I don't think we'll be going for any Barcelona players. No. No, I don't think so, chap. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Yeah, Paez needs the loan. He does. The scout... yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say, chap. I don't really know what to say. But it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is, chap. Yeah, that's essentially the situation here. We obviously know that Alfie Gilchrist is leaving. There's no surprises there whatsoever. We all knew that was going to happen, and we all knew that was going to be a thing. But yeah, there's not been an awful lot on outgoings either. Bro, I wouldn't be too concerned by last night. It was the first game of the tournament. We've not been together for a few weeks. It was hot conditions, virtually an empty stadium. It was always going to be sluggish and a bit slow. You know, it was always going to be sluggish and a bit slow. I'm not reading too much into last night's performance. I'll be expecting an improvement on Friday, but ultimately, first game of the tournament is about getting the fitness in the legs, acclimatizing to the conditions, and getting the 3 points. I'll look at performances later into the tournament, but certainly not judging on the first game. Certainly not judging on the first game, chat. Certainly not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not, chat. No, I don't think so. I think we sort of been, because we had that first transfer window from June 1st to June 10th, I think we've been sort of lulled in, chat, to a bit of a false sense of security in terms of thinking we're in a massive rush. We've got until September 1st for these outgoings. We've got until September 1st at these outgoings. Yeah, I hope so as well. Yes, big up, brother. Big up. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, but that's the thing that people go on about PSG, right? And they mention all these talented youngsters. Yeah, absolutely. But they also forget the experience that's there. Donnarumma, Marquinhos, Hakimi, Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz, Ousmane Dembele, you know? Well, yeah, I mean, tell me something we don't know. Tell me something we don't know. Tell me something we don't know. Yeah. Well, look, we do sell our own. Man City sell their own academy players. You know, a lot of them, and a lot of them are with us, and a lot of them are dotted around the Premier League. You know, not every academy player is going to be good enough for the first team. The ones are good enough, we do keep. You know, the likes of your Mounts in the past, Reece James now, Colwell now. I think that Eze would be great as well. Eze would be great as well. Yeah, of course the players we have now need to improve, but we also need to accept that we haven't got a Premier League winning quality squad. We don't. We don't. And that's the difference. Liverpool didn't need to sign anyone because that squad was of Premier League winning quality. And that is the difference here. We've been linked with Jonathan David again, have we? Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, look, there was definitely, obviously, I mean, yeah, look, it is what it is. Though it was going to be a shit attendance given it was Monday afternoon settings on fucking at 3 p.m. in the middle of a work day. Yeah, maybe Badia Shield plays against Flamengo. Probably more likely he plays against Tunis, maybe in the last game. Maybe it's more likely he plays against Tunis. I don't know. I don't know. Chat, we're 19 likes away from 150. Keep smashing the like button. It's free. Yeah, but to be fair, they were playing some an amateur side, they were playing. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I hope Maresca is backed properly. He deserves it. Yeah, he does. Absolutely does. Yeah, it's not been put together in the best way. We need to sort that out this summer. We need to sort that out this summer, chat. It's not been put together in the best way. And yeah, we absolutely need an improvement. Well, we both know Cucurella and Caicedo will both start the next game. We know they will. They'll both start the next game. Of course they will. Of course they will, chat. They'll both start the next game. Yeah, no, bro, I hear you. I hear you. It's not good enough right now, and it's not ready. I absolutely hear you on that. I absolutely hear you on that. You know, we need a vast improvement. We need a vast improvement. Yeah, that was a problem. I have to admit as well. I was I was a bit nervous about that. I was absolutely a little bit nervous about that. It was it was a major issue. No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. The defense is not better. The midfield, I'm not sure. Is it better than Kante and Jorginho? I don't know at that specific point. Yeah, no, no, I think they do. I think they do. Let's be fair. I think they absolutely do. Chat, 10 more likes. 10 more likes. Run it up. Run it up. It's free. It takes seconds. Let's get those final 10 likes to 150. Keep smashing the like button and keep subscribing if you are new around. So yeah, Isugu is going to be important, chat, because we are going to need an alternative to Caicedo, and Isugu is going to tick those boxes. So let's see. Let's see what he can offer us. Let's see what he can offer us. But yeah, he looks promising in the few minutes that he did play, although it's very hard to make an accurate representation based on a few minutes. So we'll wait and see. Yeah. Yeah, I would love Eze to come as well. Yeah, he's like 13 or something. So, I mean, I'm really not asked about that. Yeah, I'm hoping so as well. I think we'll see James play a lot more next season. I think we'll see him play a lot more, which is, yeah, it's great. It's absolutely great, chap. It really is good news. Really good news. Really good news. Let's have a look if there's any more news, guys. Let's have a look if there's any more news. Doesn't look like there is much more news, chat. Yeah, we make changes for the next game. The lap's starting. Maybe George starts instead of Madueke. I'd like to see maybe Enzo start instead of Caicedo. Maybe going Enzo and Santos midfield or something like that. A swap at centre back. Maybe Trev comes in for Levi. Gusto probably starts at right back. Those sort of that kind of level of change, really. Yeah, but there's plenty of time. I wouldn't lose your minds, chat, over Santos not playing yesterday. He'll play lots in this tournament. He just didn't play yesterday. If he doesn't play against Flamengo, then we can maybe start to say a bit more about it, but not right now. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see, chat. Yeah, Gusto does need to improve. Absolutely. Gusto needs to improve. No doubt about it. No doubt about it whatsoever. But yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll be coming back up against Jorginho. He just joined Flamengo. And their manager as well is former Chelsea left back Felipe Luis, which is mad. Which is absolutely mad. But yeah, it is what it is, chat. Levi's definitely improved. Levi's definitely improved. 100%, guys. 100% he's improved. No doubt about it at all. He's definitely improved. Maybe. Who knows, chat? Who knows? 3 more likes to 150. Keep smashing that like button. It's free. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Last 3 likes, chat. Yeah, I agree as well. Yeah, there's plenty of time, bro. Let's not stress about that. But yeah, I think we're going to leave it there, chat. We're going to leave it there for today. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Make sure you're smashing that like button on the way out. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here as well. Road to 17K. Really important you smash the likes. Really important that you subscribe as well, chat. I'd greatly appreciate it. Big love for all of the support. Let's see what the next 24 hours has got in store for us transfer news-wise. I'll be back tomorrow with all the latest news. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday afternoon, guys. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.